Welcome to Albion TV presents the AO Daily Show, your source of real news in an unreal world, keeping you up to date on the latest news, events, and the great community of Albion Online. Today is Friday the 13th, March 2020. I am your host, the Shozen One, and joining me today is my co-host, Bogul. Bogul, are you ready for today? Are you ready?
Hello. Yes. Yes. Did you see it? Guys, did you see it?
Of course I saw it. But we're going to make him watch it again. Don't worry, I will pull a couple of raffles during it. That's probably where all the raffles will be done. Actually, I think I have 4 or 5 today.
Nice.
Oh, let's do all of them. So I'll try to pull 3 during the... Bogle, what's on today's show?
Robin and, the game director of Albion Online, CEO, made a roadmap update detailing what's in store for Albion Online in the next months.
I think it's the next content update with a little bit look out into the future to see, look what could be. But I don't want to put like a time frame on it and say this is the next year. Yeah. Well, there is none. Yeah. And we don't know we know that the solo content, and we know that some of the other things we'll be talking about in it are designed to be part of the next content update. But Bogle, can you read what you wrote for what's on today's show? Usually Bogle gives me a really good highlight of what's going on today's show so I can read it out and really just get it out there. And he wrote,
today on the show we have roadmap video, roadmap news, and roadmap.
Yeah, that's what's on today's show. I hope you like it. It's going to be the roadmap show. But we should really just get started with it, Bogle. I think before we do much more, we should play the roadmap video. Well, the dev talk, really. Or as I like to refer to them as a dev chat. This is a chit chat with the dev. No, it's a dev talk and about the upcoming roadmap. We'll play that for you. I'll open up a raffle. You'll all get to get some shots at gold. If there's one going on, you're in it too early. Let me go check out the giveaway situation. No, there isn't one going. So let me open that. And Bogle, why don't you go ahead and play the video for these lovely people?
All right, let me put this on full screen. Bloop, there we go. And enjoy if you haven't seen this yet.
Hello and welcome Albion community to another Albion Online Dev Talk. Today it's finally time to share our plans for what's coming next to Albion Online. What are our plans beyond the Queen update? Well, with the Queen update we brought a revolution to Albion's outline gameplay, really reshaping the way large-scale gameplay is happening in Albion Online. But we didn't have time for another super important aspect, and that is solo and small group gameplay. And this is what we'll be focusing on next. For the improvement of solo and small group gameplay, we have 2 exciting features lined up. The first one is the Roads of Avalon. With the next update, we're planning to reveal these mystical paths through the mist that form an ever-shifting network of connections all across Albion, which only let through a limited number of players at each time and which only exist for a limited time in the world. In this way, the roads open up a vast number of opportunities for small-scale gameplay. As a solo player, you'll be able to explore these paths, you'll be able to find valuable treasure and activities along the way, you'll be able to use them for transportation, and you'll be able to share them with your guild for them to use. You can even use the roads to go directly from the Royal Continent deep into the Outlands, avoiding ganking at city portals altogether. Small groups will also find access to these roads, and even small guilds will be able to use these roads to find remote places to settle away from the hustle and bustle of the Outlands, and founding a sort of unique play style by living in the mists and having to find their way out of them every single day. Also in this update, we're going to introduce an entirely new type of solo dungeon, focused on players who enjoy PvE with the risk of PvP. These solo corrupted dungeons will be non-linear dungeons, full of possessed mobs which have been taken over by a demon from Albion's Hell Dimension. The dungeon is actually possessed and alive, and it will swallow up the player, closing the entrance behind them, preventing other players from following them into it. To get out, however, the players will have to fight their way out, killing the demon's minions, killing the demon itself, until an exit opens. Those players looking to PvP will need to side with the demonic powers of this place and use the energies to transfer to a different corrupted dungeon, hunting the player who is stuck inside. This will lead to exciting 1 versus 1 battles and an entirely new combat meta, and it's something we're super excited about because it's already quite fun in the early playtest that we're having inside, especially because we're going to bring this feature to all ranges of Albion players. There's going to be a knockdown version for beginning players, as well as 2 different difficulty levels for medium and advanced players who enjoy full loot PvP. Apart from these 2 major features, there's going to be a variety of improvements that we're working on already that you'll hear more about soon. For combat in particular, we're planning to release a wave of balance adjustments to the current combat meta as the current season proceeds. We're also starting to plan our changes for the next guild season. The next season will focus on introducing incentives for attacking large guilds that hold a lot of territory that are quite valuable, causing these guilds to prioritize defense, and also adding incentives for these guilds to attack other powerful guilds rather than other weaker groups in the Outlands. We think these changes should lead to a more exciting and more competitive guild season, which is a good thing for all of Albion. And then for combat, of course, there's a whole new set of artifact weapons that we're working on, which will come with their own Destiny board specialization lines, giving in particular our veteran players something entirely new to aspire to. Beyond these combat-related changes, there are a number of adjustments coming for economic players. First off, we're revisiting resource changes introduced with the Queen update. In particular, we're looking at the spawn behavior and frequencies, and overall we're going to boost the amount of Tier 6, Tier 7 and Tier 8 resources found in the Outlands to make sure gatherers have a rewarding experience, find enough resources to be crafted into items to end up in your hands through the black market or through market trading. We're also fixing a number of issues with fishing in the new Outlands, and we'll finally get to rework and fix the seaweed economy for fishermen. For the crafters, we are revisiting a lot of craft times in the game, getting rid of some really long and frustrating craft times, and making craft times be based on the amount of resources actually used in the crafting process, so that time-based crafting buffs actually make a lot more sense. We're also revisiting a lot of focus costs, in particular artifact focus cost, which is off in many places due to a number of changes previously made to artifacts. And with these improvements coming, it should become much more viable to craft artifacts items with focus. Finally, for economic players, our ambition is to improve the variety of items available for underrepresented item slots, in particular bags. Apart from these game changes, there's also a number of usability improvements we're currently working on. These range from a new mail UI, which adds all sorts of features from searchability and bulk editing, to improved map modes, which allow you to view time zones and other important information at one glance, to reworking the build UI, so it's finally in the style of the Albion's new UI style. But the most exciting feature that we have in the works when it comes to usability, to me, is the quick equip and quick buy feature. With this feature, you'll be able to save equipment sets, configurations, and then use these configurations at marketplaces and banks to either quick buy or quick equip an entire set of items in one go, saving you plenty of time when re-equipping or changing equipment in Albion. Now, taking a step back and looking at the bigger picture, things not immediately in development, but things that we have planned, we're going to take a look at the topics on the horizon. In particular, our focus is going to be on one big feature, which is the rework of the Royal Continent and the faction warfare system. We have a vision for faction warfare to become a core activity for players living on the Royal Continent. It should be a simple thing to get in as a beginning player, and it should be an exciting feature for veterans to, who prefer to play on the Royal Continent to continuously engage in. And our idea is to have it feel more like a realm versus realm activity in other MMOs. So you should be more committed to the particular faction that you've signed up with. You should be rewarded for gaining standing with them, earn meaningful rewards. And of course, there should be exciting battles between these factions that it's easy to become a part of and just join in as a fun way of enjoying larger scale battles and smaller scale battles on the Royal Continent. In terms of the open world experience of Albion, we think the next step really is to improve the mount balancing and the variety of different mounts. Who's mounted on what mount plays a huge role when it comes to being chased in PvP and the different activities, and this really deserves a closer look. So we're planning to revisit all mounts, decide which particular role a mount should fulfill, improve the balance between the different mounts, make sure that not only the fastest and most expensive mounts can escape in a PvP situation. And the key component is going to be that we plan to add active spells to each and every single mount type, so that you actually have a component of skill, and something that really gives character to each particular mount category at the end of this rework. Finally, on the horizon, there are a number of things that don't have anything to do with the game itself, but with things surrounding the game. Now, key there is the work on the mobile version of Albion Online. We currently have a big rework of the mobile HUD and the controls in the making, and soon we'll be releasing this entirely newly layouted HUD and the joystick-based controls we've been building. There'll also be an auto downloader for patches on mobile, which will go into testing at some point. So there is a huge number of improvements coming for players playing the mobile versions. And of course, this takes us a big step closer to the actual release of Albion on the mobile platforms. However, we really want to take the time to give you a chance to test all of this and to listen to your feedback and to continue improving this version until we're really happy before we go into a proper release of the mobile version. That said, we can't wait for that moment where every player will be able to just pick up their phone and jump into their Albion character from their phone. Lastly, I should probably talk about some of the topics on last year's roadmap. If you check that post, you'll see that we achieved a lot of the goals we set out to do. But of course, some things remain unfinished, and we'll continue to work towards those. A good example of that is the better highlighting of PvP activities on the world map, guiding players to these activities, making sure that they know about them and that there is action whenever you go to one of these hotspots. We still believe that that's an achievable goal and something we should be working towards and will be working towards. Other features that you found on last year's roadmap have not disappeared, but instead have become part of the ideas that are going into shaping the features in this roadmap. So, for example, the gathering dungeons is an idea that is now included in the roads of Avalon. You'll be finding high-value resource spots within the roads that will feel really rewarding when you find them as a gatherer, and encourage you as a gatherer to explore this space as well. Now, the same sort of change can always happen with things we list on a roadmap. With things in development, you collect feedback, you see how something works out in practice and you need to make adjustments to plans. So take everything we presented there today with a little bit of salt. That said, we're very confident in our features presented in this roadmap and really look forward to sharing more on them as development proceeds. Thank you very much for listening this long to our roadmap. We're very excited about turning our attention to solo and small-scale gameplay. It's something that a lot of you have been asking for, and therefore we're very excited to hear your thoughts and feedback on this roadmap release. Thank you very much.
And we're back. Wow. Wow.
Yeah, that was pretty good. Even a second time. I enjoyed chatting away with our chat here today. I also got a number of interesting messages. Yeah, sorry, if I was just chatting with you and you had not gotten your code, message me again, and I will have a notice that says to look at that for later. Sorry about that. Yeah, if you were drawn today, you have to whisper me to claim your prize. And, you know, I only drew one, so why don't I go ahead and do two more? Oh, that's not fair. That's really not fair. But we'll do it anyway. Dead Lizard won a prize. One Taku Rao won a prize. And Red Killjoy won a prize. You just have to you guys just message me with the whispers, and then it'll create a record of it. And then I won't be able to forget about you.
Can we talk about this roadmap now? Not this random gold codes?
I don't know. I think, guys, would you rather that like I spend the next 5 minutes giving out one more gold code? Or, all right, Bogul.
Yes.
Let's start at the beginning. Let's open up the roadmap update for everybody, not the forum post, but the actual news update.
Mm-hmm.
And we will go from there and start discussing this with everybody because it's super cool. There's a lot of great stuff on it, and I think we should just start at the very top with Roads of Avalon, Bogul.
Yeah. I mean, on the top, before of that, even says it's. I think something we should repeat briefly. It's a focus on solo and small group gameplay, with a roadmap for the next 1 or 2 or 3 content updates. I think that's the word, right? So that's the time horizon that's important to look at when we talk about all this. But yeah, the Roads of Avalon first feature, it's, what did they say? Mystical paths through the mist? What?
It's what happens when you frack, okay? We're interdimensional fracking, right? And now it's literally ripped holes through our interdimensional like realm to the realm of the Avalonian mist. And I don't know if you've ever seen Pacific Rim, but the only good part of that movie is the end when in 5 minutes they explain an entire movie's worth of plot. Yeah, wormholes from Eve. Yeah. It looks very cool. I really enjoy this. The idea that you go in, there's some, how do you describe this? Like it's limited time travel to special areas, but every time it's random.
We don't know. So
yeah, we don't know.
What it says is that it's portals to these mists that you can only go through with a limited number of players. It doesn't say how many. But since it's small scale, I'm assuming it's 20 sub 20 maybe, or do you think it's sub 10?
Well,
I don't know, but that's
I feel like this is okay, Bogul. This is where I get in trouble again.
Uh-oh.
You know how sometimes they say like it says solo players can explore these roads to discover where they lead. That can mean a single person could go, but they should go with a small group. And I think a small group is, what's the smallest group we have? 5 group. Okay. So it could be for 5 people. And then what we find out is small group means, less than shows up as a bubble, which would be less than 11. So is it for 10? Is it for 5? Is it for 3? Is it for 1?
Something to ask Robin about in an interview.
Yeah, guess what I have next week, Bogle?
Oh.
I have an interview with Robin where we'll be asking these tough questions, and he will see if he can do a better job of dodging those tough questions. Because last time, I'm not sure who got in trouble more, he or I, but we were both in trouble at the end of that interview.
So apparently we will have portals in the world that you can go through with a small group. And after a bunch of people went through these, they will close and then reopen at a different point of the world. They also only last for a different amount of time, which is, so far this just seems like a pathway system, right? Like a shortcut system. That's how it starts off. But then they go into more details, saying that these will not only exist in the Outlands, but also in the Royal Continent, which is an interesting addition, since that's another way to get there, except other than going through the cities.
Yeah, this is where I got a little like confused, and I feel like there's things he's not telling us, right? Like he's trying to say some things but not say others, and this is where one of those times where he goes, oh, you can start on the Royal Continent and then you can get to the Black Zone, and then there will be small guilds who choose to settle deep within the mists, and every day the roads out of their mist-filled little hideout will be different. And
he didn't
I'm
say
like,
hideout. He didn't say hideout.
No, you're right, he didn't say hideout. That's true. He said home.
Yeah.
Bogle, you better get back in time for this interview. It's all I'm saying, man, because like I need you here with me, or I'm just gonna start asking him why we have alliances. And
no, that didn't. No. But based on the prototype concept art that it looks like, it's attached to some sort of wall, right? What I noticed in Albion, that if you change to a different zone, you always do that at the, well, almost always. There are some tunnels and stuff, but you almost do that at the edge of the zone. So I could definitely see these being placed at, corners or edges of the map, and that would be big enough to
it would
spawn
be
these
interesting.
and have like additional connections.
That would be an interesting way to do it, saying that we feel that there aren't enough connections out of some of the zones, and what we're going to do is make some weird portals that go back and forth, like Deep Space Nine style, get off into the the Delta Zone or something. So
it further says small groups will find valuable group content within these pathways, as well as using them for travel. And there will be opportunities for small groups to settle permanently in locations deep within these mists, removed from the fierce competition of the Outlands. Floating sky hideouts that are like,
I don't get I don't
misty?
feel like this is in the sky, Bogle. I feel like this is in the ether. Like, I really feel like this is somewhere in. I really like the idea of this whole fracking nonsense, that these are interdimensional beings, and so far nobody's supporting me with this until this misty thing, and I'm like, maybe it is milk and mist. Come on, and I'm gonna go poke Robin on this a few times and be like, Rob, come on. You ever seen Pacific Rim? And he'll be like, you mean the movie about giant robots? And I'll be like, nah, aliens that killed the dinosaurs. That's what that movie's about. Come on. And then, like, we can actually talk about what was good about that movie. And then we can say, we're fracking, and, what we're really dealing with here is the Avalonians, who are simply taking our shape, because that's the way they see us
into
fight.
this theory. I think
like,
you
dude,
made this up like a pre-queen, and
yeah, dude, I'm still on this thing. I keep saying, let me write the freaking lore for this game. I got some ideas on how to make it different and unique and freaking weird.
Well, the only thing we know.
To what we do know, and is actually not Shozen being, junior game lorist.
The game has a huge misty thing in the center of the world, right? So that's maybe where this happens, but it's probably instant stuff, right? Do you think there will be things you can find like, will there be a map of this? No, right? Because we sort of know from the random dungeons, the randomized dungeons, that these don't have a mini map. And so the way I think of this is that it's the portal goes into the system, then you have connected zones sort of that are bigger or smaller, and they have a few exits, and then these connections between these exits randomize, open, close, and whatever.
Right, you don't know where they're going. Yeah, and it could take you, from what I understand, maybe it could take you 3 jumps to get out, maybe it could take you 5. And the idea that you don't know where you have to go to get out, to get home, is both frightening and awesome if they can make it work. Like, if this feels like a fun gameplay loop of living in there, and you get the same experience out of being in that you would in the Black Zone, like you have a place to live that you call your home, and you have like a little zone that is your own, and you can do something with it, but that doesn't give the same types of bonuses that a Black Zone home does, and has some small detriments that are more PvE oriented, really.
I don't know if it's PvE oriented. I think.
Well, yeah, I don't know. Like, I'm just
space.
That's why I was like, you know, like, just not exactly sure what the dangers are, you know, gonna be going from this point on. So I'm definitely feeling more Beaker than just I don't know. Is it a PvP? Is it PvP, PvE? How do you get out? Now it says follow PvP rules and present dangers of their own. Okay. So that makes me think that there's PvP, but they're trying to make it less giant groups of PvP than what you would find in the Black Zones. So no 100-man ZVZ raids, but that there would also be some sort of unique PvP element that might make it you have to do a bit more active escape out of the zones than the roads that we have now. Now, this is just me and my junior game dev speculation hat, but I think that's a little bit what Roadmap Day is about, isn't it?
Like reading the runes of SPI, trying to do bone reading, or what's this called when you, like in the ancients, when you
tea leaves
reading. Yeah.
Reading owl pellets, if you will.
I also liked how you used the word jump already. I think that's a different game. The thing that is strictly for PvP, however, I think, is the next one.
This is really cool. So
solo dungeons, true solo. Should we call these corrupted true solo dungeons, or because that's what they are? Right?
Yeah, they are. They're like a cross between a random solo dungeon and a Hellgate for 2. Why don't you just go ahead and read what they have, and then we'll talk about it, because this sounds freaking awesome.
The update will introduce an all-new player type of solo dungeon, corrupted solo dungeons. These are areas intended for players who enjoy PvE with a risk of PvP, as long as it's a fair fight against a single attacker. Corrupted solo dungeons are non-linear dungeons filled with creatures that have been possessed, blah, blah, blah. The dungeons...
Whoa. Have been possessed by a demon from Albion's demonic planes. Remember, this is an entire different, like, realm of reality here. Remember that.
These could have been possessed.
Tie this back into the ship, Bogul. Come on, we're working on this lore here. Be a partner here. Be a partner.
For all I care, they could have been possessed by Albion's clowns of the community, and it would still be cool.
Yeah. We have a lot of clowns. The dungeon will swallow any player entering it, closing the entrance behind them and preventing other players from following. That means, like, to me, that means you walk by it, don't even need to click on it. Like, you're just walking by and all of a sudden...
No.
And you're in another dimension, right? And, like, you don't really have a choice. You've been...
No, you click on this and then it closes, so it's not the solo dungeon that allows whole guilds to hide in it, or alliances.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Well, yeah, probably.
They look cool, at least.
They look really cool. I think they're awesome. So far, everything I've seen about them looks awesome. Let's continue speaking about them. There's a little bit more here about the demonic minions, how the process works, the idea that you can fight for the dungeon. The dungeon is alive.
Well, you fight demons and minions and stuff, and that's diplomatic speech of making this sound cool. And I'm reading through all of this, and I'm like, yeah, I want to get to bags, but this.
Let's get to the meat of this update, guys. There's new bags.
Yeah,
Sorry,
did you see that?
No more solo dungeons. Okay, let's scroll down past upcoming balance changes. Let's go past economics. Let's go back. I'm trying to find bags. We know it's important. And
they also saying it's been fun in playtests, which makes it sound like it's close. They're also confirming that it's a 1 versus 1 Hellgate, basically. And that's just cool, because that's been on the requested list for a long time.
So what happens is you enter this dungeon. It's somewhat randomized. It acts as if it's alive and will change around you as you're playing in it. If you choose to, you can fight on behalf of the corrupted dungeon itself. Then you will be ported out of that dungeon that you're in currently and ported into a new one, where you will then have the ability to fight against somebody else who's in that dungeon.
Wait, so you're still playing your character, right? You're not taking control over some demons or something.
From everything I know, you would be your character. Maybe they would do something cool to make you look like you're possessed. I hope I'm not. Like, that's a question I'm going to... Bogul, write that down. Bogul, write it down for...
I don't have a pen.
I do. Is the player...
Upcoming improvements, combat balance adjustments, and improvements to the current combat meta as the season proceeds.
Look cool.
Are you still right?
Yeah.
We know that Retroman does the combats balance, or likes to them, after some of the season has passed. So that's also something that's due soon. No? Some combat balance? Changes for the next guild season starting in May, including, that's something you will like, incentives to attack guilds holding many valuable territories to make these guilds prioritize defense, and adding additional incentives for powerful guilds to fight each other rather than other weaker groups in the Outlands. I think your game dev head just exploded, didn't it?
I'm just crossing my fingers. They're super crossed. I have a wooden desk. All right. A whole new set of artifact weapons, which will come with their own set of Destiny board specializations and give veteran players something new to aspire to. Yay.
What? You don't like it?
No, big yay.
That's
no big, like, I'm sorry, did it not come across? No, this is something that veteran players who are 400 across the board have been asking for forever. Sorry if it didn't come out that way. That was not my intent. I am excited for this. I know people who are excited for this. Robin Hooders might not be, because he only knows 2 weapons.
What's other than Grovekeeper?
He might know how to use Frost.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
How about guns? Did you consider guns yet?
Dude, I saw guns. Show the guns.
This doesn't open. Why doesn't it open? Let me open it.
Why? What did you do?
I clicked something. It went all white, and now let me fix this.
Okay, fix this. But do it the old-fashioned style. Make the image. Show it up on your computer. Go full screen on the other one. Then drag it over.
I'm doing it. When you watch the video, there is a preview of the in work in progress. What is it? The artwork there, or the concept of that?
Concept art.
And now I can find it. I have to find it in game. But basically, it looks like...
Does this mean I have to send you an image, like, from my screenshots?
I tried opening it, but it didn't. Let me try this.
I can hear you. I can hear you.
There we go. Found it.
Okay.
Found it.
Good job. I'm so proud of you.
OBS is hard, guys.
It's not easy, and Bogul has been doing a great job with it. Thank you, Bogul, for taking over that.
There you go.
Me, by the way. Yeah. Look how I smoothed that over. Like that?
Now, question. Is this a gun or a crossbow?
Or is it just a giant mace?
No. He
No.
holds it like the cosmetic portal
Right.
gun thing.
Have you ever seen somebody who holds a Grove Keeper?
Oh no.
I'm just saying that could be the exact. It could be a 100% just a Grove Keeper.
No, that's a gun or a crossbow. Guys, what is this? 99%. Chad says gun.
I'm going with energy weapon myself. I believe it rips the souls of the Avalonians right out of their home in the other dimension and then shoots them at other players. And it's like you're really gonna take off the Avalonians using this one. Please do it. Please do it. Yeah. Yeah.
We also see a bow, a two-handed sword, and what is
It's
this?
a beer mug.
No.
Then he's holding it wrong, okay? If that's a beer mug, I'm just saying he's holding it wrong. That's not, even Thor doesn't hold his mug like that, okay? Let's just tilt it up.
I know SBI are from Germany, but that's also not how you hold beer mugs at Oktoberfest at all. That's not, no.
Well, actually, Bogle, if you tilt it like 90 degrees, so the guy is on his back, that's exactly how you hold a beer mug at Oktoberfest.
It looks maybe like a soccer cup that you could fill with beer.
Yeah.
What's this thing in the back? Is that like that's a ring?
It's just like a floating spear, like of energy. Like it looks, I don't know. It
looks like
the
locust, right?
Yeah, it does look like the locust. I agree. Chat is. We also have the skull that does that. We have a book. I think chat is right when they say support weapon, but
Cool.
it could just be like they could throw us for a loop, and that could be your massive DPS weapon. You know, that could be your thing that explodes, right?
Wait, you're saying arcane
energy.
DPS? Is that what? Oh,
Yeah, like that could be your crazy arcane like explosion thing, and it just looks nasty. It could be an offhand because we only do see the left hand in that. I mean, we might have to go to the video and then just run it back.
we have technical limitations.
Yeah. I'm sorry, Bogle. I did put you in charge of this, but
Whoa. Whoa.
Hey, you set yourself up for these, Bogle. I'm gonna have to knock a few of them down. I'm just saying. I don't.
All right. That looks cool. New artifact weapons. The fact that you get new spec in it wasn't shown on the video because I assume the Destiny board isn't ready yet. But that makes me wonder because now you have like the Avalonian tree, and that also means that there's in like 3 years' time way more potential for more.
Yeah.
If you make a whole new tree from it.
Yeah. Like, what if each one of these okay. This is 100% speculation. I don't have a speculation hat, but I need one. What if each one is their own separate tree? Like you unlock the tier 3 node that gets you to this one, and then each one of these goes out.
Specialization. So you have the two-handed sword.
They all share. They all share spec.
Two-handed sword, and it's the Avalonian tree. I think that's how it should be.
All right. Well, that could be a way, but it could also, just be. It could be different. We don't know. We will see. And I'm just excited about it. But let's move off these weapons because we have a lot more to talk about and we are running out of time.
Economics. All right, let's do this.
You do want to talk about bags today, right?
Yeah.
I want to save you 15 minutes left at the end of the show for talking about bags.
No, I don't need that much. Maybe?
Okay, 14 minutes. All right. Go ahead and hit these up.
Revisiting resource changes made with Queen and boosting spawns of tier 6 to 8 resources in the Outlands. Now, is that the thing we saw announced by Retroman? Or is that even more tier 6 to tier 8? I don't know. Maybe that's the one Retroman announced already, right? Probably. Fixing a number of issues with fishing. Yay. In the new Outlands, and finally reworking and fixing the seaweed economy for fishermen. No longer do you need to fail at fishing to get the most valuable No, not quite, but one of the most sought after resources in making fish sauce.
It is like really irritating that you have to fail to get seaweed. And like it's really like, other than getting a really nice fish, like a good one, like a rare one, I'd rather have seaweed. Just it's thank you. I don't know who I'm looking right in the camera. Thank you. I don't know which one of you I have to thank for this, but thank you. You know who you are. They know who you are. Thank you. All right, we can move on after fish sauce now.
Streamlining and improving craft times in order to correlate them with the actual amount of resources involved in the crafting process, making time-based craft buffs from food more meaningful. I saw a comment on the forums where I think Piddle said, oh, yes, finally crafting 1,000 plate hats doesn't take as long as crafting 1,000 crossbows, which has, what, 4 times more resources than hats? So it's, yay, fine, nice, cool. It's crafting, making more sense is good, sir. Making math and people who like this kind of stuff looking at this and going like, oh yeah, this does make sense. It's not artificial. It's good. I like it.
Okay, and I hope this includes a change to fish sauce. The sauce.
Yeah.
All right.
I have a good video on that on my YouTube where I explain in a 40-minute video how to make 3,000 fish sauce.
It's you just explain it in the first 30 seconds and then run it for 40 minutes.
Yes. No, I don't say anything. I just click play and then make fish sauce.
Okay. All right. We have to move on here. This is just going to go really off the rails because
There's also an adjustment to the focus cost of artifact items to make more sense, which is nice. This is one of the issues if you have, you know, a more developed crafter character and you suddenly have to spend 2, 3, 4,000 focus on making one item and then you're not even getting anything from the artifact back. So that's just a good, you know, rebalance to that needed update. Nice to see. And now the best thing of the whole patch, adding more variety to currently underrepresented slots like bags.
Right.
Offering new choices for players as well as increasing the variety of items to craft.
Bogul, somehow I feel like they were thinking of you when they did this. Like, I feel like there were very specific people who were going, we have a player who spends 18 hours a day making bags.
No.
And it's got to be really monotonous for that one player. Could we do something for that one person who provides the entire game with bags? Could we do something to diversify their gameplay? Is there anything we could do to get him to leave the city? And then they said, no, let's just add more bags.
Yes, I like it. I mean, the thing I'm busy with is relogging, but
can you speed up the Bogul patch 2.0? Please speed up the relogging process. It is hard to get to my 75 alts.
When I discovered that you can put a chest in front of your crafting station in a city if you own one, and then you don't have to trade between characters, you know how much time that saves?
I'm guessing it probably saved you about 45 minutes a day.
20-ish.
Okay.
That's good. All right. And then the big one of this is adding more variety, currently underrepresented, blah, blah, blah. Offering new choices, as well as increasing the variety of items to craft. I don't know if this is just bags, then this is marketing speech, right? It's just, you know, more bags, cool.
Just more bags, cool, yeah.
But does it also mean there's more or just bags? More or just bags?
I'm going to tell you, I kind of get the feeling, and I can't, like, you know, say anything more than just the feeling. It's not more than a feeling, just a feeling. There might be more than just bags.
Let's hope for it.
To me, they said slot. And now I'm not saying it might be more than that slot, but it might be more than bags.
I mean, we
What
have
if
new armor and no weapons already.
right? But yeah, but I'm saying it's the same slot. Bogul, are you following me? Same slot.
Crafting, like gathering bags.
No, it's in the slot with bags.
Capes.
But for some people, don't.
Chat. What am I missing? Avalonian bags. What?
Okay, moving on, Bogul.
We get a new. We get a new mail UI, map mode displaying useful information like time zones. Yes, nice. Building UI, part of the, and the big one, I think, quick equip, quick buy feature, which will allow you to configure and save sets of equipment you regularly use. And that's nice. That's again another huge,
awesome. That's
huge
not nice. That's awesome. Like for people who die and want to get back to the fight, that is amazing. Like I can't tell you how many times like I have not gone to a CTA because I realized I needed new gear and just didn't want to go through the process.
Oh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
It's definitely more than a dozen times. Yeah, I'm a bad guildmate. It's true. It really is. I show up like right before CTA and I often don't have my stuff. So might improve.
Or you go through all that effort and then you go out and
then
stuff
I miss.
and then
Yeah,
you don't
I
have
miss
a
it.
weapon or, yeah.
Oh, I haven't done that. I've missed food.
I did.
And energy, but I have not missed my weapon yet, Bogul. I know for you, this could be a serious problem, as that's a completely new and unnatural slot to you.
Weapon slots. Yeah, no, I don't. I use a cape, a hat, shoes, and a bag currently, and a mount. That's all I use. Big picture topics. What's this?
This is one of the ones I was hoping to get a little bit more
sooner, or information.
More, because I feel like this is one of those things where they have more, but they can't tell us it yet. You know what I mean? Like this seems like a bigger thing, and this is something they've been working on for longer. And I believe it's changed and probably still in the process of changing. This is one of those things where I'm saying it right now where Robin could be like, excuse me?
To me,
we talked about this.
To me, this is what's, a year from now. Or, 2 patches from now, 3 patches from. This is a patch. This is 2 patches. This is, I believe we will see something in the next patch that gives us a taste, right? This is your silly taste, but then you get the big beef later. Like you get the next piece later in the next patch. Kind of how we had that mid-season patch, right, like before Queen, and we got a little bit of stuff. I kind of feel like we're gonna get a taste of this in Queen that just probably might instigate a little bit more faction warfare just to get people going again. But then we will see the big change that comes that makes people want to stay as part of their faction. I believe that's 2 different situations. Like the beginning, which is just like, let's get us going, and then turning it into a full Realm v Realm style content. Ooh, I would really like to see that, because if you can get people to fight over something that is independent of guilds or alliances, and that's fun, and people start doing it, then politics might take longer to get in the way. Like the more people that you can get to play it that aren't involved in the high-end meta gameplay, the more you can try to make something like this work. And I think that's important. And I really, really hope this thing the way I read this in terms of what will be released is, I think the first thing that will come is the information on the next season, because that's what, 1.5 months. Then I think in the summer we might get the what's it called, the roads, what kind of roads, Avalonian road trip, the
Avalonian, the roads of Avalon. I think this is a really, like, I feel like this was like somebody had like a little idea, they made a little thing, and then the next thing they knew, it went poof, this is awesome. And I love it when that happens in games. Like when you're screwing around with something, and the next thing you know, a little thing turns into something amazing. I'm not saying that's what happened, but I'm going to ask that question.
And then I see that sort of turning into, I don't know where the weapons fit in, but it's probably I don't know if you just get more from doing Avalonian stuff, but you probably would also find new enemies in these, I suppose. So that's where they could come in. And then the economics stuff and the other things don't fit anywhere. But they might just come with one of these. I hope soon. I hope sooner. I hope tomorrow. I don't want to wait for new bags. Can I get... What kind of new bags could they put in?
Well, I tried to tell you, and then you just didn't get it.
I didn't know. What?
Yeah.
No? Wait, that's what it...
He's starting to get it, folks. You hear this? He's starting to get it. It's the little wheels are starting to turn. He's like, oh, bags that ain't bags. Okay. Now I get what you're saying.
What's not a bag? What like a... What?
Bogul, you need to play more of the game.
Put on your junior game dev thing and then go 1, 2, 3.
Okay, Bogul. So there are a lot of players who do a lot of different events in this game where having a bag isn't all that important, yet they have a bag anyway. Oftentimes they'll take a really crappy bag just to fill the slot. But if that bag, that slot bag, you know, that's there that is completely useless in CGVGs, for example, or in ZVZs, like imagine some kind of thing that could be more helpful as a different kind of item than a bag. Say one that has very low carrying weight, but also does something else for you. Here you go. See, this is what I'm saying. Maybe we have something like that.
Oh. All right, I have something to think about tonight.
Yeah, I know. Now you're like, I'm going to be involved in a whole new economy.
True.
Yeah.
Do you know when you're like accidentally bought Apple like 50 years ago, what, 20 years ago, and then you're like, oh, now I'm rich.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, cool.
Yeah, Bogul, you have all the spec.
Nice.
You're like looking at, you know, you could suddenly be involved in like something that's worth something. I know, right?
It's already, the black market
like,
is already.
Yeah, you just bought Amazon when it was a bookstore.
Of course, I don't have Amazon. Don't. So, I don't. Is there more to this?
Yeah, there is, Bogul. We have the mobile version. We have mounts. We have more stuff here. We have mounts with active abilities. This is something that's actually been brought up before that we've been waiting to talk about for a very, very, very long time. The idea of having active travel where every mount in the game had an ability, so that you would want to choose your mounts not just based on their carrying weight or their speed, but there would be some active travel abilities in the game. And that sounds really, really cool. He didn't go into too much on this, and I think this is one of those topics I'd like to poke him on a little bit. Be like, Robin, why don't you tell us what you mean by active abilities for mounts, and how would those work in practice, sir? And maybe he could tell us.
That's also worded like it would be towards the end of the year, I feel like, right? That seems a little bit more abstract.
Well, I will say this is something that we heard about on the more recent side. I mean,
yeah,
you know, I mean, this is
really, from
what we understand, the way they've changed their development process went from, what was it, like every 4 months we had a content update, right, Bogul?
Ish, yeah.
Early on, yeah. And then when Robin took over, shortly after that, they started doing every 6 months and trying to just make things a little bit more polished, a little bit more in depth, add a little bit more. So when we get a feature update, it has more stuff. And that's really, I think, been a very big boon for Albion Online in general. They've had some absolutely incredible updates. So I do see 2 updates here, but one I see as the first one, and then I see the next one as the polish. And when we start talking about polish, I think of things like the mobile UI. Recently, we had some questions that were asked about what we wanted in the UI, and basically everybody said we want scalable UI. Right? I mean, you saw this. You were part of this post, Bogle. Did you not see this? Am I alone?
Yes, but no, but yes. But this is mobile HUD.
Yeah.
And
well,
and
that
you
was
think that's sort of the same workflow? Okay. Cool. I mean, they are specifically talking about the mobile version.
They're talking about mobile UI is different, I think.
Yeah.
As like I don't know if we would get like joystick support in Albion.
It says, yeah.
Including, but no, I mean, no, not like that's.
Oh, joystick based, right? Yeah.
Okay. Like that's a control scheme that's on for the UI that is on the mobile. But does that mean we would actually get true joystick control where it's not the little stick on the side of the game where that you're pushing up and down and left and right, but an actual use of joystick? And would that be something that could transfer to Albion so you could play on your PS4 or Xbox One controller? And if you can do that, why aren't we? And so, in conclusion, lastly, in regards to last year's roadmap, they've completed almost all of their goals. And in some of them, like that aren't specifically tackled, such as gathering dungeons, they are including in the Roads of Avalon, and they have changed and morphed over time. PvP hotspots and world objectives. Sounds like this is something that Bogle. All right, hold on. I need to get a hat. I need to get myself a good hat for this. One for speculation, one for junior game dev, and then one like just a bald head for when I'm playing Dr. Phil. We're going to get some hats. Reinvesting in hats. All right. I'm going on. Oh, crap. Do I really want to buy hats during the coronavirus?
If they contain masks? I don't know where you're going with this.
Masks are getting expensive.
Oh, because the guy who delivers it might bring. You might.
Well, the guy who packs it is in a factory full of people who are packing stuff. I don't want anything from anybody right now. So
postpone this.
Yeah, I'm gonna postpone getting hats. So let me put on my imaginary hat here, and when I hear about the open world PvP hotspots and world objectives, I think back to when Robin was talking about faction warfare 2 interviews ago, and how he said he wanted to bring that into the Outlands. And I'm wondering if some of what was that then is going to be this now and changed in a new way. And that's how I feel about when we hear these roadmaps. A lot of times you don't get exactly what they say, but they change with the ideas of an ever-evolving living game, and then often become something cooler. Because I'm listening to these like the solo corrupted dungeons, and that's way cooler than 1v1 Hellgates. And that's what it started as. It started as 1v1 Hellgate, and then turned into something that sounds freaking amazing because they combined the elements of a solo dungeon with it. And round of applause to everybody. But I think that's it, right? Are we ready now to say goodbye? Maybe we should do not roadmap. We should do shout outs before we go away until tomorrow.
There's also, I think, one thing I'd like to say at the end. We look forward to hearing your thoughts and feedback. That you can do in the forums, of course. Forums. And there in the forums, there is one little note that says we might be a little bit busy replying to you.
They're very busy.
Also because they're prepping for working at home for a while.
Yeah, like it's hitting everybody, guys. Please be patient with everybody over the next few months, no matter what instance you're dealing with people. Everybody's gonna be a little on edge. I hope that you guys can find fun here in Albion. You know, just stay home, play Albion. I hope that I hope that you're all safe and healthy, and that we don't have to, you know. Oh God, Bogul, is this too dark? F's in chat.
Oh no. Too early.
All right.
Too early.
All right. If it happens, Bogul, I'm going to be the first one. You know, it's going to be. I'm the first one here.
Let's go away from this topic. No,
yeah, this is yeah. Stay safe, kids. We love you all. Have a great time here playing Albion. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Stay inside. Wipe your doorknobs. Wash your hands. Don't cough on your friends. I'm going to pull some raffles.
All right.
That's the thing too, guys. Be careful of where you're getting your raffles from.
Yeah. The forum thread is up if you want to post your opinion. If you have further comments, suggestions, ideas. 2 hours ago, 19 likes already. If I refresh, probably more. I'll share that with everybody so you can take a peek at that. And then we can end the show with community shoutouts that we have been collecting for a few days, right?
Yeah. First things first, we have Funky Dango. Go ahead and whisper me. And Dynamite22. Whisper me. You guys have both been winners before. I don't know if both of you have claimed your prizes, but I've definitely pulled your names. So whisper me and claim the prize. Hey, look at that. I put my name in chat for you. Made it super easy. Bogul, let's hit up those shout outs.
Let's see. Ask Bogul if he wants to do a raffle. What? Do I want to...
Is that the ask? Is that the ask?
Yeah.
Yeah.
From Tevinich. Do I want to do a raffle? I don't have the almighty powers of the Moobot at this point in time, so I can't do a raffle, but I can remind Shozen to do that.
You can remind me. Yeah, they give me all the gold. Weird, huh?
Yeah.
Like, you wouldn't want to give the guy who sells all those bags all those extra gold codes now, would you? Might see some bonuses coming out with high-end bags. Buy a free 8-3 bag. Comes with
a gold code. No, that's not. That's
okay.
illegal.
I know. Illegal. That was why I used the voice. It's clearly that I'm being sarcastic there. Nobody should take me serious. Fun Sponge. Gamer dad love sounds like something that has its own not safe for work Reddit, especially when you call them out for their big blue donuts.
Shout out to Conflict.
Hooney Boy is back. He says, "Oh, Bogul." Fun Sponge also wants Bogul face cam blocks. We'll have an answer on that sooner rather than later. Dead Lizard. So direct all complaints to Bogul and Shozen One on the AO Daily Show. Sure.
No,
I mean,
no, I don't like complaints. I like creative suggestions.
I do too, but I'm telling you that, like, if you're gonna complain to somebody right now, I'd rather they complain to me than the people who are hard at work making this game, because I generally do. I think I know exactly where most complaints need to go. And the proper ones I can send on to the proper people, but I know where most of them go. In Bogul's bags.
What?
Albion News 24. What is your fun per hour? Check out Newbie today. www.newbiealliance.com. Free gear programs, multiple special interest groups. If you are a new player or a bitter vet, check out Newbie today. Yeah, they pay me extra for that voice. Did you know that?
Can I get special pay for a special voice too?
Nope.
Damn it. Careful. Host enough ladies and you'll have, and all you have left is your Ethernet.
My Ethernet cables. That's from yesterday. This is an old one. I was saying that I do the networking here for Albion. And I had been hosting a lot of women recently because we've had an influx of women who play Albion. And I wanted to give them some attention because they're new streamers. And I always try to give our new streamers some attention. and some of them have been doing very, very well for themselves.
Nice.
Yes. Oh, Shozen one. Yay, new bags.
Moon Gecko shoutouts his nan. She plays Albion Online 24/7. Is there a shoutout from Moon Gecko's nan as well? No.
Shout out for my nan. Yeah, awesome. Did I ever tell you about how like the first couple that I ever heard of that got together and got married in Albion was because when the guy was playing, he was doing solo dungeons, and he actually, I don't think it was solo dungeons. He was doing some kind of static dungeon.
Mm-hmm.
This is long ago, and he had this older woman with him who he had to leave her behind in a dungeon because they got attacked, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then her daughter came on to, like, I think it was to yell at him for it, for, you know, being a crappy teammate. And then they fell in love and got married.
Oh.
Yeah. E-dating at its best. It makes me happy every time I think about it.
Wait, that's a successful Albion Online e-dating story?
It's the only one I've heard of so far. Shiro says his is pretty successful, so I'll give him some. Shiro says he's doing well.
All right. All right. Cesari says, "Worm bros, join me in the wormholes."
Yeah, worm bros, join me in the wormholes. Not warm, not warm.
Worm bros are something different.
Yeah, that's.
Oh. Oh.
Sturmwolf DK, hello darkness, my old friend. Tier 1 Jank, show us a good fight before you go. Actually, I believe I'm gonna. You know, I hadn't hosted this guy in a long time because he was poorly behaved. But I believe everybody deserves a second, third, fourth, and 17th chance in this case. I think we'll show Sorab, who will probably be doing some CGVGs like right now. So we'll just go ahead and host him. How's that sound, Bogul? You okay with that?
Why not? Why not?
Well, because of the BBD.
Big
Black Dagger, yes. All right, but we're going to do that. Forgive and forget, right? We all can be friends.
All right. All right.
So, guys, thank you to everybody. Come join us tomorrow. Bogul, what time are we here tomorrow? I forgot already.
I don't know.
Somebody will need to, okay.
Tomorrow we have the.
This is our second time doing this one. Give us a second to figure out what we're doing. I know it sounds terrible that we don't know. Actually, I'm pretty sure at 7 minutes, Sorab's match is probably over. He's either blinked into the tent or the other team saw him and sat. But tomorrow at 2:30 p.m. UTC, that's 14:30, Bogul? 14:30? And 21:30?
Maybe. I didn't write it out. It's tomorrow is the level 6s and 7s of the Crystal League, and we will be covering these here on Albion TV together with Lupac, and we will be showcasing these. We'll be casting these live. We will be talking about some of their builds, maybe some of the players who are playing in these. We have a few things prepared for you there, so it should be an entertaining Saturday show twice.
Yeah,
with a ton of content.
Yeah, and if you know anybody who's participating in those and you would like to see them on stream, go ahead and tell us right before stream and we'll try to show them. All right, Bogul, let's go ahead and host this guy and get out of here.
Okay, bye. Read the roadmap, write things. Good day. Have a good night. Are we ready to host?
I am in the process of hitting the raid right now.
All right, bye.